The Arena of Giants. The sky above Draxus 9 was dark, filled with red clouds and lightning. Thousands of alien beings shouted from the stands of the arena. The ground shook under their voices. This was the place where only the strongest survived. This was the Arena of Giants. In the center of the arena stood Commander Scylla. She was tall, her skin a deep silver color, and her body was covered in hard armor that shimmered in the light. Her eyes were glowing blue. She was the champion of many battles, undefeated. Everyone feared her. She looked around with a proud smile. She was ready for another victory. Then the gates opened. A human walked in slowly. He was not wearing armor. He looked small and weak compared to Scylla. His name was Logan. His clothes were dirty, and he had only simple boots and gloves. No weapons, no shield, just a calm face. The crowd laughed loudly. Some aliens shouted, "What is this?" A joke. Others screamed, "He will die in seconds." Scylla laughed too. "Is this your fighter?" she asked the officials. "This fragile thing." Logan stood still. He looked at her but said nothing. He was breathing slowly, like he was saving his strength. A voice came from above. It was the arena judge. "The fight will begin now. To the death." Scylla cracked her neck and took a step forward. "Try not to break too fast, human. I want some fun." Logan took one step back, then another. He kept his eyes on her movements. He didn't blink. Scylla charged like a beast. Her fist came fast, aimed at Logan's chest. He moved just in time. Her fist missed by an inch and hit the ground with a loud boom. Dust rose into the air. The crowd cheered. Logan moved again, stepping to the side, light on his feet. Scylla attacked again, swinging her leg, but Logan ducked. She roared with anger. "Stop running," she shouted. "Fight me." Logan's voice was quiet. "I am fighting. You just can't see it yet." The crowd was confused. Why was the human not hitting back? Why was he only moving? Scylla rushed again. This time her fist hit Logan's arm. He stumbled, fell on one knee. Blood ran down from his shoulder. Scylla raised her arms. "Is that all? I thought Earth had warriors." Logan looked up, his lips bleeding. But he smiled. "You think strength is only about power," he said. "You don't know what real strength is." Scylla walked closer. "Then show me." Logan stood up slowly. He wiped the blood from his face. Then he closed his eyes for one moment. He listened. He breathed. The crowd fell silent, sensing something strange was about to happen. Scylla rushed one more time, this time aiming at his face. But this time, Logan moved differently. His body turned fast, his right foot spun, and his left hand came up like lightning. It struck her under her ribs, just between two armored plates. It looked like a soft hit, but Scylla froze. Her eyes opened wide. She stepped back, gasping. She dropped to one knee. The crowd went quiet. Logan stood in front of her, breathing hard. "Your body is strong," he said, "but your biology has pressure points." I studied. Scylla tried to speak, but she couldn't. Her heart was racing. Pain spread through her chest. Medics rushed into the arena. "Fight suspended," shouted the judge. Guards stepped in between them. Scylla was still on the ground, her pride broken more than her body. Logan looked down at her. "You laughed at me. Now you understand." He didn't smile. He didn't cheer. He just walked away, leaving the champion kneeling in the sand. Above in the stands, no one laughed now. And somewhere deep inside Scylla's heart, something else began to grow. Not hate. Respect. Eyes of the warrior. The silence after the fight hung heavy in the air. Even though the crowd had left, the arena still felt alive, like it remembered the moment the giant fell. Scylla sat alone in the med chamber, her eyes fixed on the holoscreen in front of her. Again and again, she watched the human's final move. It was too fast, too perfect. One hit, just one hit, and her body had collapsed. It didn't make sense. She touched the spot under her ribs where Logan had struck. It still burned. The pain wasn't just in her body. It was in her pride. She had fought in wars across systems, defeated machines, monsters, even gods in training simulations. But this human, he wasn't trained for war. He was a miner, a worker, and yet he had broken her. She clenched her fists. "Who are you, Logan?" Meanwhile, deep inside the underground holding cells, Logan sat in a small room made of cold stone and glowing blue lights. No bed, no comfort, just silence. He didn't seem to care. He sat cross-legged, breathing slowly, eyes closed. His knuckles were bruised, but he didn't ask for medical help. He looked calm, peaceful. A camera above watched him. Behind that camera, high officers of the Galactic Union were gathered in a control room. Their faces were full of confusion. "This human is dangerous," one alien general said. "He must be a secret weapon." "He's just a civilian," another replied. "We checked. No military background. No combat files. He's clean." Then how did he drop Commander Silura with one blow? The first one barked. No one had an answer. A tall alien female entered the room. Her presence made everyone go silent. It was High Empress Drelka, the ruler of this sector. Her silver crown glowed with energy. She watched the recording once, then turned to her generals. "Bring me the human," she said. "Your Highness," one general asked. "And bring Silura too. I want to see how two warriors act when their eyes meet again." Later that night, Silura entered a long glass hallway inside the high tower. Her movements were slower than usual, her steps unsure, her body still healing. But she held her head high. She didn't know why she was called here. All she knew was that the Empress wanted answers, and perhaps so did she. On the other side of the hallway, Logan was brought in, guarded by two robots. His hands were not bound. He walked without fear. When he saw Silura, he stopped. Their eyes locked. For a moment, no words passed between them. Just silence. Her blue eyes, once filled with pride and power, now showed something else. Something he didn't expect. Curiosity. "You watched the video," Logan said softly. "100 times, she replied. "And I still don't understand." Logan nodded. "I don't need you to understand." Silura took a step forward. "But I need to." She moved slowly, closing the distance between them. "Where did you learn to fight like that?" "I didn't," Logan said. "I worked in caves, back on Earth. Mining ice from under pressure. Every movement had to be perfect. One wrong strike could bring the walls down. I didn't learn to fight. I learned to survive." Silura frowned. "You survived me." Logan's voice was calm. "I didn't want to fight you. I just wanted to live." A door opened at the end of the hall. The Empress entered, her steps light, but full of power. "Good," she said, looking at them both. "Now speak truthfully. Are you enemies, or something else?" Neither Logan nor Silura answered. The Empress watched their silence carefully. "Logan of Earth," she said, "you could have killed Silura, but you did not." "Killing was never the goal," he replied. "Then what was?" the Empress asked. Logan looked at Silura. "To be seen." Silura blinked. The words hit harder than any punch. In her world, humans were ignored, laughed at, dismissed. But now she couldn't stop seeing him. Not as a weak thing, not as prey, but as something else. A mirror. Suddenly, the floor shook. Alarms rang out. "Emergency, breach in the southern chamber," came a voice over the speakers. Red lights flashed. The Empress turned to her guards. "Take them both to safety." But before they could move, the wall beside the hallway exploded. A group of dark-armored aliens stepped through the smoke. They were rebels, outlaws who hated peace between species. The leader pointed at Logan. "That human must die. He shamed us all." Sylara didn't wait. She jumped in front of Logan, drawing her energy blade. Logan stared. Why? Sylara didn't look back. Because no one else made me feel small and strong at the same time. The battle had just begun. And this time, they would fight together. The strike that shook the arena. The hallway was filled with smoke and fire. The air trembled with the sound of energy blasts. Rebels moved through the broken wall like shadows, fast, trained, and ready to kill. Their target was clear, the human. Logan stood still, back straight, breathing slow. His eyes scanned every motion, every flicker of movement. Beside him, Sylara raised her glowing blade, its blue edge humming with power. She hadn't fully healed from their battle, but something inside her was burning again. Not pain, not rage, something deeper. The rebel leader stepped forward. He was tall, even for an alien. His armor was black, marked with blood-red scars. His voice echoed through the ruined corridor. "You think this fragile thing deserves to walk among us?" he growled, pointing at Logan. "You shamed our champion. You made our blood look weak before the entire galaxy." Logan didn't answer. He simply stepped slightly to the side, just enough to bring his body into perfect balance. It was a tiny move, almost invisible. Sylara noticed it. Her eyes widened. "He's ready." "You shouldn't have come here," Sylara warned them. "You've made a mistake." "We came to finish what you couldn't," the rebel spat. "No," she said coldly. "You came to witness something you don't understand." Then it began. The rebels charged, 6 of them at once. Blades out, rifles raised. But Logan didn't run. Instead, he moved forward, toward them. The first rebel swung a plasma blade at his head. Logan dropped low, the blade passing just inches above him. He reached out, caught the alien's leg, and twisted. There was a loud crack. The rebel screamed as he hit the floor, his weapon falling from his hand. The second came with a rifle, but Logan had already moved behind a pillar. The shot missed. In a blur, Logan grabbed a fallen pipe and threw it like a spear. It struck the rifle's power core. Explosion. Smoke. From the side, another attacker leaped, this one faster, more skilled. Sylara jumped in, blocking the strike with her blade. The two clashed, metal against light, strength against precision. Sylara's movements were sharper now, more focused. This wasn't like her usual fights. This time, she was watching Logan out of the corner of her eye, learning his rhythm. Behind her, Logan whispered, 3 more. 1 above, 2 flanking. She nodded without asking how he knew. The rebels closed in. Logan turned, ducked, and slammed his palm into the wall. A panel fell loose, revealing a burst of steam that blinded one rebel. Sylara spun and used the moment to strike, blade through armor. Down. But the one from above was still there, crawling along the ceiling like a spider. His blade pointed straight down, ready to kill. "Logan!" Sylara shouted. Logan didn't flinch. He took 1 step forward, then jumped, not at the enemy, but at the wall. His feet hit the smooth surface, and he pushed off at an angle. Mid-air, he twisted, spinning. With one precise strike, his elbow hit the rebel's neck as he dropped from the ceiling. The alien crashed to the ground, unconscious. It all happened in less than 10 seconds. The last rebel saw it all. His team defeated by a human and a warrior who once mocked him. Fear spread across his face. He dropped his blade and ran into the smoke. For a moment, there was silence again. Only the red lights flashing. Only the sound of deep, heavy breathing. Sylara looked at Logan. "You could have let me handle it." "I didn't come to steal your glory," Logan said. "I came to survive. But you fought to protect me." She wiped blood from her face. "I told you before, something in you changed me." "What do you see now?" he asked. She didn't answer right away. She stepped closer, looking into his eyes. "I see a warrior who hides his blade in silence." Suddenly, the Empress's voice came over the comms. "You two, report to the command chamber. Now." Logan looked around. "Will they thank us or arrest us?" Silura smirked. "Depends on who's watching the footage." They walked side by side, through the rubble, leaving behind the broken bodies of those who thought strength was only size and armor. But the galaxy was changing now, and somewhere in the stars, others had already started watching this human too. The human who broke a legend. The command chamber of Draxus 9 was built at the top of the Spire Citadel, a place meant only for the High Council, not for warriors, and definitely not for humans. The walls shimmered with pulsing energy. Ancient alien symbols moved like liquid across the glass. The room was silent when Logan and Silura entered. All eyes turned to them. 12 council members sat in a half-circle. Each was from a different species, old and wise. None of them smiled. The Empress stood at the center, tall and still like a statue carved from starlight, her expression unreadable. Logan's boots made soft sounds on the smooth floor. He felt the weight of every glance. Not just judgment, curiosity, fear, maybe even respect. Silura stood beside him, her back straight, arms crossed behind her. She wore no helmet now. Her face was bruised, but her pride wasn't broken anymore. It had changed, softened, sharpened, something new. The Empress raised her hand. "You both disobeyed protocol," she said. Silura answered first. "We defended your tower." "Yes," said the Empress, "but we did not ask for your defense. We asked for answers." A long pause. The Empress looked at Logan. "How did you know where to strike her in the arena? No human knows our biology." Logan's voice was calm. "I studied." "Where?" "On Earth," he said. "I worked in alien labor mines. My shift leaders were from 6 different species. I learned their weak spots to survive the abuse. I wasn't trained to fight, but I was trained by pain." Whispers moved through the council. "You were a slave?" asked one elder with golden skin. "They never called it that," Logan replied. "But yes." The Empress stared at him. "And yet, you never struck back." "Until I had no choice," he said. Silence again. Then Silura stepped forward. "This man defeated me not because he is stronger, but because he understood me. More than any warrior ever did. He didn't break my body. He revealed my blindness." The room grew tense. "And now," Silura continued, "I see clearly. This human is more than what we thought." The Empress looked at the others. "Do we agree?" Most of the council members nodded. But one, a tall, shadow-skinned alien named Xarn, spoke up sharply. "We cannot allow him to walk free. He humiliated one of our champions. That humiliation spreads. Already, our outer colonies speak of rebellion. They say if a human can beat us, maybe we are no longer gods." "Perhaps," the Empress said. "We were never gods." Xarn scowled. "Then what do you suggest?" "We test him again," the Empress said. "Not in the arena. In the wild. In the real world. A mission of survival." Logan stepped forward. "What kind of mission?" The Empress looked into his eyes. "A secret installation on the ice planet of Threxus 4 has gone dark. It holds data cores from the old war. We fear they've fallen into rebel hands." "Send your soldiers," Silura said. The Empress nodded. "We will, but they will follow you human." Logan raised an eyebrow. "Me?" "Yes," she said, "because only you have seen our strength for what it truly is, and still lived. Perhaps you can teach others to see the truth." Logan thought for a moment. "You're not sending me to retrieve data. You're sending me to survive again. In chaos." The Empress gave a faint smile. "And if you do, the galaxy will hear." That night, Silura sat outside the launch bay, watching the stars. Her wounds were healing, but her thoughts were restless. Logan approached, holding 2 small flasks of steaming liquid. "Earth tea," he said. "Don't worry. No poison. She took it, sipped, frowned. Tastes like burnt roots. Yep, Logan said, but it keeps you warm. A quiet moment passed between them. Why did you speak for me today? He asked. Silera didn't answer at first. Then softly, she said, because when you looked at me in the arena, you didn't see a monster. You saw a person. Logan looked up at the stars. I've seen real monsters. You weren't one of them. They sat in silence for a long time, listening to the distant hum of the docking ships. Finally, Silera said, if we go to Threxus 4, you should know. It's worse than the arena. Storms that eat skin, creatures that don't bleed, and shadows that remember pain. Logan sipped his tea. Sounds like home. She turned to him. You're not afraid. I learned something, he said. Fear is useful, if you don't let it lead. Silera nodded slowly. But deep in the cold corner of the stars, a signal blinked on Threxus 4, faint but alive. Someone was waiting for them. Someone who already knew Logan's name. Enemies with shared scars. The shuttle broke through the dark clouds of Threxus 4 with a heavy groan. Outside the frost-glass windows, the world below was white and endless. Oceans of frozen dust, storms howling like wild animals. Nothing moved, nothing breathed. It was a planet that had forgotten how to be alive. Inside the cockpit, Silera sat at the helm, focused and quiet. Her armored fingers gripped the controls like a warrior holding her sword. Next to her, Logan sat with a calm face, wrapped in thick survival gear. A thin scar now ran across his cheek, a gift from the last rebel fight. He hadn't mentioned it once. Behind them sat two more soldiers, one alien, one human, both from the Empress's elite guard. They didn't speak either. Everyone on board felt the weight of the unknown. The signal from the old war station had gone dark a week ago. And now, this small team was going to find out why. Logan looked out the window. No birds, no trees, not even shadows. The planet eats everything, Silera said, even sound. They landed near a broken communication tower. The building was cracked in half, as if something had chewed through steel and wires. Blue lights flickered inside the ruins. Stay close, Silera ordered. The four stepped into the storm. Icy wind bit at their skin like knives. Logan moved slowly, carefully. Each step left deep marks in the snow. Silera led the way, her energy blade humming softly in her hand. As they entered the base, silence greeted them like a ghost. Walls covered in frost. Computers frozen mid-function. Chairs knocked over. No blood, but no bodies either. Something's wrong, Logan said. You feel it too? Silera asked. He nodded. This place isn't just dead. It's waiting. They moved deeper into the structure. The cold grew worse. Deeper still, they found the command center, sealed shut, lights glowing red. Silera used her override chip. The door hissed open. Inside were 7 bodies, all seated at terminals, unmoving. Logan stepped closer and stopped. They're not dead, he whispered. They're dreaming. The bodies sat stiff, eyes open, faces locked in expressions of terror, joy, grief, all at once. Wires ran from their necks to the glowing data core in the center of the room. Silera scanned the system. This isn't a memory vault. It's a weapon. What kind? Asked the guard behind them. Emotional resonance, Silera said. It traps you inside your strongest feeling, and it never lets go. Logan stared at one of the humans. Her face looked just like someone he used to know. Someone from a life before the mines. His hands began to tremble. Silera noticed. What is it? Logan shook his head. Nothing. But it wasn't nothing. Something inside him was pulling, whispering. A voice he hadn't heard in years. You left her. You let her die. He stumbled back, breathing fast. The data core was alive, searching minds, pulling memories. It had locked onto his. Shut it down, Logan said quickly. Now. But the room shifted. The walls bent. The lights dimmed. And suddenly, they were no longer in the base. Logan stood alone in a red desert. The sun above was burning. Around him were voices. Angry, sad, broken. All from his past. People he couldn't save. People who had suffered while he survived. A girl appeared in front of him. Small, dirty, with wide green eyes. "Why didn't you come back?" she asked. His legs felt heavy. He tried to move, but the ground turned to chains. "This isn't real," he whispered. But it felt real. A hand reached into the illusion. Silara. She pulled him back into the command room. His body hit the floor, sweating and shaking. "You were almost lost," she said. "It knows my past," Logan gasped. It used her face, her voice. "Then it's more dangerous than we thought," Silara said. The other two guards weren't so lucky. They were frozen, trapped in their own minds, reliving something over and over. Silara activated her blade. "We can't take this risk," she said. "We destroy the core." Logan stood up slowly. "Wait. Why?" He touched the data cables. "Because I think someone inside is still alive." "Trapped?" "No," Logan said. "Fighting." Deep inside the data stream, a single signature still moved. Faint, weak, but alive. Logan looked at Silara. "We came here thinking it was about me. But it's not. It's about whoever is inside that machine." Silara narrowed her eyes. "Who?" Logan didn't answer right away. Then he said, very quietly, "My sister." Her pride, his power. The room fell into silence after Logan spoke. "My sister." Silara didn't blink. Her grip on the hilt of her blade tightened, but she didn't draw it. Instead, she stepped forward and stared at the flickering lights of the data core. The frozen bodies of the dreamers around them hummed with emotional echoes. Whispers in the air, silent screams trapped in digital loops. "You never told me you had a sister," she said carefully. "I thought she was dead," Logan replied, his voice low and tight. "Years ago, when we were taken during the mining raids, I lost her in the chaos. We were separated. I escaped. She didn't." Silara stared at the glowing cables connected to the survivors' necks. "And now you think she's inside that thing?" "No. I know it," Logan said. "That core didn't just show me a memory. It called her name. Kayla. She's alive in there. Somewhere." A gust of cold wind blew through the broken wall. One of the unconscious guards let out a sound. A sob, short and hollow. "We don't have time," Silara said. "The core is unstable. Every second it stays active. It pulls more minds in." Logan stepped toward the data panel, fingers brushing over the interface. "Then let me go in," he said. Silara turned sharply. "No, it's not safe. You just said it yourself. We don't have time. And if someone inside is still fighting it, they need help." "You've never interfaced with alien resonance tech," she argued. "It doesn't just show you memories. It drowns you in them. If you go in, you might never come out." Logan stared at the flickering lights. He could feel it already, the pull of the machine, like it was calling to him in a voice only he could hear. "She's my sister," he said. "I'd rather die trying to reach her than leave her trapped inside a nightmare." Silara opened her mouth to argue again, but stopped. There was something in his voice. Not pride, not desperation. It was something else. Conviction. A kind of strength she had never known before. Not muscle. Not skill. Heart. Finally, she nodded. "Fine. But you won't go alone." Logan raised an eyebrow. "You just said it's too dangerous." "For most," she said, activating her neural implant. "But we fought together. I've seen your mind under pressure. And I've fought my own ghosts too." He gave a faint smile. "You trust me that much?" "No," she said, "but I trust what you're fighting for." They linked in. A metal interface connected to their necks, pulsing with a deep purple light. The data core flared once, then darkness. Complete, total silence. Then came the drop. Logan felt his body dissolve into light, pulled through tunnels of memory and pain. Voices flew past him. Faces. Regrets. Fears. And then, a garden. Sunlight. A little girl running through trees, laughing. "Kayla," Logan called out. The image flickered, and then turned dark. The garden rotted away. The sky blood red. Thunder cracked, and from the ground rose monstrous forms. Twisted versions of miners, soldiers, slavers, all shouting his name in anger. Logan stood firm. But beside him, Scylla screamed. She fell to her knees, clutching her head. "They're in my mind," she cried. "They're showing me my failures." Logan grabbed her shoulder. "They're not real." "They feel real," she gasped. "Then fight like it is." He pulled her up, and together they pushed through the storm. The dream world bent around them, memories turning into enemies, whispers into knives. But Logan kept moving. He wasn't fighting them. He was fighting to reach her. Then he saw her, a small girl standing at the center of a shattered bridge, her hands glowing, her face older now, but still her, still Kayla. She was crying, surrounded by ghostly chains. Logan ran, but the bridge cracked under his feet. Scylla caught him with one hand, pulling him back. "Go," she said. "I'll hold the nightmares." He stared at her. "You sure?" "You saved me once," she said. "Now let me repay it." He nodded, then leaped across the last gap and ran to Kayla. "Kayla," he shouted. She looked up slowly. Her eyes were distant, glassy. "Logan," she whispered. "It's me," he said, reaching out. "I'm here. I came back." She shook her head. "You can't be real. They told me. You were gone. I dreamed you, over and over." "I'm not a dream," he said. "I'm your brother, and I'm taking you home." The chains around her began to pulse. Red, angry. The machine was resisting. Logan wrapped his arms around her. "Hold on." The world shattered. They woke up together, Logan gasping, Kayla coughing, her eyes wide and real. Scylla lay nearby, bleeding from her nose, but alive. Logan looked down at his sister. "You're free now." Kayla nodded, tears running down her cheeks. "You came for me. Always." Scylla sat up slowly. "Now we just have to get off this planet." Logan helped her up. "Can you walk?" "I've walked through worse," she said with a smirk. "But I have one question." "What?" She looked at him. "What else are you hiding, Logan?" He didn't answer. Not yet. Because far above them, something new had awakened inside the data core. Something that had seen them both. And it wanted more. The warrior who bowed to a human. The storm outside raged like a beast, denied its prey. Logan, Scylla, and Kayla stood at the edge of the broken station, looking up at the black sky of Threxus 4. The data core behind them had stopped pulsing. Its light had died, but something inside it had not. It was watching. "How far to the extraction point?" Logan asked, wrapping a thermal cloak around Kayla's trembling body. Scylla checked her wrist display. 20 kilometers north. We'll have to walk. And quickly. "Then we move," Logan said. But they had barely stepped outside when the ground beneath their feet shook. Snow split. The air went thin. And then, the voice came. Not spoken. Not heard. Felt. "You left me." Logan froze. The sound wasn't coming from the sky or the wind. It came from inside him. Kayla clutched his hand. That voice, it was in the dream. Always watching me. Always whispering. Scylla stepped back, her blade lit with a sharp hiss. "It's not over." A figure rose from the snow. Not flesh. Not machine. Something between. Tall and terrible, its form was made from broken data, old code, and fragments of emotion. fear, anger, betrayal, all shaped like a humanoid beast. Its face was half a mask of light, half Logan's own reflection. "You survived," the creature said in 1,000 overlapping voices, "but the others didn't. Now you will carry us all." "What are you?" Logan whispered. "We are what remains of the trapped minds. Their pain, their memories, their final moments, merged." Scylla stood beside him, a memory ghost. "No," Logan said. "It's worse. It's all of them." Kayla backed up. "We can't fight that." "We don't need to," Logan said. "We end it." The memory ghost stepped forward, feet not touching the snow, eyes like mirrors. "You escaped the mines. You forgot the screams. You moved on. Now we will not let you go." Logan stared it down. "I didn't forget. I remember every moment. I carry it with me. That's why I'm still standing." The creature paused. "You carry guilt, but you do not feel it." Logan's voice shook. "I do. Every day." Scylla returned to him. "Logan, if you fight it head-on, it'll pull you back into the dream. You won't get out this time. Then I'll give it something else to feed on." He stepped forward. The ghost's hands reached out, long, twisted fingers made of burning thoughts. But Logan didn't raise a weapon. He opened his arms. Kayla gasped. "No. What are you doing?" "Letting it in," Logan said. The ghost struck, flowing into him like a wave of boiling memory. Visions hit him like knives. The screams of the miners, the cries of his sister, the burning tunnels, the chains, the faces of those he'd left behind. Logan fell to his knees, but he didn't scream. He endured. "You want to punish me," he shouted into the dark inside his mind. "Then do it. But you'll never own me." The ghost hesitated. Inside the storm of visions, it found something it didn't expect. Love. Keela's laughter. Her hand in his. Scylla's voice calling him to stand. The ghost screamed, not in rage, but in confusion. "Why do you not break?" Logan stood slowly. "Because I forgave myself. Because I chose to live." The ghost cracked. Light poured from its chest. It fractured into 100 glowing shapes, faces, names, pieces of memory, flying free into the sky like stars escaping a black hole. The storm calmed. The wind died. And Logan stood alone in the silence, breathing hard, his face wet with tears. Scylla approached him. "You won," she said. "No," he whispered. "They did." Kayla hugged him tightly. For the first time since her rescue, her eyes showed peace. The next day, the three of them stood at the top of the extraction ridge as the rescue ship landed. The Empress's banner waved from its wing. It was over. Or so they thought. As the ship carried them back toward the stars, Scylla turned to Logan. "You said before, I didn't break your body, only your silence. But now I wonder, was the silence your shield all along?" Logan looked out the window. "No, it was my prison. But you helped me walk out of it." Scylla nodded slowly. Then, before he could look away, she did something no alien warrior had ever done to a human. She knelt, not in submission, but in respect. "You taught me," she said, "that strength is not in how hard you strike, but in how deeply you stand." Logan helped her rise. "Then let's keep standing. Together." In the stars beyond, something changed that day. Stories began to spread, of a human who faced a ghost made of pain, of a warrior who bowed to no one but chose to respect. And on worlds where humans were once slaves, the people began to whisper a new word with hope. Logan.